قال الوهواد لا يهوى باشم Yoshai Basham Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule and teach well. Peace and salutations to the brothers and the four corners of this earth, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. I'm not as a captain. Okay, hopefully short video. Or go be straight to the point. Alright. An article from Reuters. It says federal immigration agents fatally shoot second person in Minneapolis. Right, January 24th. Alright, so that is today. It says Minneapolis, January 24th. Federal agents shot and killed a man in Minneapolis on Saturday. Local and federal officials said the second fatal shooting involving federal agents this month during a surge in immigration enforcement, ICE, right, in the northern U.S. city. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security said Border Patrol agents fired in defense at a man who approached them with a handgun and two magazines. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara said the man was a 37-year-old city resident who was believed to be a U.S. citizen. He did not release the name of the man, who he said was a lawful gun owner with no criminal record. A video circulated on social media and aired on cable news stations showed people wearing masks and tactical vests wrestling with a man on a snow-covered street before shots are heard. In the video, the man falls to the ground and several more shots are heard. Later, video from the area showed immigration agents deploying tear gas on a growing crowd of onlookers. Governor called for operation to end. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey called for an immediate end to the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations in the state. How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end, Frey said at a news conference. The state's governor and two U.S. senators also called for federal agents to leave. Trump has been briefed on the shooting, a White House official told Reuters. O'Hara said there was a volatile scene at the site of the shooting and asked people to avoid the area. Please do not destroy our city, he said. The nearby Minneapolis Institute of Art said it had closed for the day due to safety concerns. The shooting came one day after more than 10,000 people took to the frigid streets to protest the presence of 3,000 federal agents who have been ordered to the state by Trump. Residents have been angered by several incidents, including the killing of U.S. citizen Rene Good. The detention of a U.S. citizen was taken from his home in his underwear, and the detention of school children, including a 5-year-old boy. On Tuesday, Vice President J.D. Vance visited Minneapolis to show support for immigration officers and to ask local leaders and activists to reduce tension, saying U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement was carrying out an important mission to detain immigration violators. Right? So what we're seeing here is that the situation is becoming highly volatile. Right? The egging the people on, or edging them on, so to speak. So, you know what I mean? Get a reaction out of them to what? To call down that insurrection act, that martial law. Right? When that martial law hit, hey, what a lovely time. You know what I mean? It's going to be phenomenal. Right? I just jot down two precepts after I read, but I didn't even read the article. I just, you know what I mean, skimmed through it. And two precepts came to mind. It was the second Esdras. So look it up. 15 and 16. Alright, so look it. Go to it. Second Esdras 15 and verse 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Yeah, they're going to do what they want. They will not regard the president. They will not regard the law enforcement agents, so on and so forth. right? They wouldn't regard the governors, the mayors, so on and so forth. They're going to take matters into their own hand because that is the convenience mindset that these so-called Americans are in. You know what I mean? We the people, so to speak, right? They have believed that the government standing for them and by them. And now they feeling betrayed, now they feeling hurt, and we know, you know what I mean, these are sensitive people, you know what I mean, especially this younger generation, they're very sensitive, you know, so they're going to take matters into their own hands. So what we witnessing here, right, is the possible, how to put it, planned programming of a civil war, right, the people versus the state, you know, because the government is sending agents in and these agents have full rights to deal with the matter as they see fit, you know, so they wouldn't be liable. You know what I mean? Look, even the mayor asking how long, how much more Americans had to die, how much more citizens had to die. You know what I mean? He was a law-abiding gun owner, and we know these Americans, they is it the Second Amendment? I think it's the Second Amendment. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? The Second Amendment states they could lawfully carry a firearm. However the case may be, we know them allowed to do it. We in Trinidad and Tobago are not, right? And them love that law, them fight to keep that law open carry or however it's called it, right? So now we see it turning and biting them in you know what I mean, in the behind. Because this person was carrying a firearm lawfully, according to the mayor, lawfully carrying a firearm, and hey, they whack him. You know what I mean, fight him to the gun, and according to the Prime Minister, empty the gun. Right? So it could be sedition among the people are going to rile up and riot and fight against the state. You know, they will fight against the state. Um, that's not. Oh, no, yeah, please up here. Come to me. Um, 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 yeah. There is a piece of looking for Isaiah 19 and verse 2. I read from one, the burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. You know what I mean? And that is what it is because they are still the fucking MAGA fanatics out there. Right? It's still are the Trump number one fans out there, you know, look at your kicks. Regardless of what this man, we still have his supporters, and his supporters are just as radical, if not more radical than him. Right? So we are witnessing the high possibility of civil war breaking out, and it go happen. It could go happen. Not even a possibility. It's just a matter of when, right? Because they're going to try to fight against the state, and Trump supporters are going to rally and fight against them, as they say, neighbor against his neighbor, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, right? And kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall feel in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them who have familiar spirits, and to the wizards, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord. All right, I'm going into something else, but nevertheless, right? Point is in the verse too. everyone will fight against his neighbor, you know, because they are going to be the cries of the outraged and the cries of the enraged, right? Like how well they could go against Trump and what you're doing, he's trying to make sure the America is for the Americans. Nigga, you all are not even fucking American. You all come there and fucking slaughter the indigenous people, right? That history trying to wipe away now. Like, oh fuck man. Cat already out the bag, bro. They grasping at straws. Plainly they grasping at straws. They are basically trying to incite it so they could bring down the Insurrection Act. You know what I mean? And put the place under martial law. Right? And this is why, this is another reason why, you know what I mean, they're going to go. It says, verse 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are for blood, it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Right? And this is it. So we know that, hey, the missiles have to touch down. The grand scheme of things, the missiles have to touch down. They have to be brought down from the pump, you know what I mean, from the lofty place in the heavens, as they just say. Right? As all of the scriptures say. Right? Isaiah 14 or 13, I believe, where it say, I'll make my congregation into the nest. Oh my God, I don't want to butcher it. It's too much of a important precept. All the precepts are important. It's 14 and 13. Yeah, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of power, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, in the sides of the north, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. You know what I mean? So their loftiness, their pumps, like, will be brought down. You know? And this is what has to happen. This has to happen. No if not buts, no maybe. That martial law, the fucking civil war, that have to happen. For the world to unlook and be like, is this the man that made the world to tremble, dog, and made the that wilderness? This has to happen. Look at the people fighting against the fucking self. You know what I mean? All this to bring in what the digital, the CBDC in its entirety, holistically, and the MOTB, right? This has to happen. I basically, this has to happen. You know? So I hope it was edifying, I hope it's spark food for thought among the Archeum. Right, until next time, shalom.